Have you ever stopped to think about the smallest coin in your pocket? The penny may seem insignificant, but it carries a rich history, surprising value, and a story that spans generations. From its humble beginnings to its role in everyday life, this tiny coin has made a big impact. Let's take a closer look at the fascinating world of the penny. The penny, often dismissed as the smallest and most insignificant coin in everyday life, carries a story that is far greater than its simple appearance suggests, especially in a world where its true value is not measured in cents but in millions. What most people casually ignore, toss aside, or leave forgotten in drawers and corners is, in reality, an object of immense worth, mystery, and hidden potential. Imagine holding a single penny between your fingers, feeling its light weight and smooth edges, unaware that this tiny piece of metal could be worth millions, capable of transforming an ordinary life into one filled with opportunity, wealth, and endless possibility. This idea alone changes everything about how we perceive value, forcing us to question whether worth is truly about numbers stamped on the surface, or the deeper story behind the object itself. For generations, people have walked past pennies lying on the ground, sometimes picking them up for luck, sometimes ignoring them completely, never stopping to consider that one of those coins could hold extraordinary value. In this reimagined reality, each penny is more than currency, is a hidden treasure, a silent promise waiting to be discovered by someone observant enough to recognize its importance. Stories begin to emerge of individuals who once overlooked these coins, but later realized their worth, turning moments of carelessness into lifelong regret, while others who paid attention found themselves stepping into a life of unimaginable wealth. The penny becomes a symbol of awareness, reminding people that even the smallest things in life deserve a second look. As time passes, the perception of the penny begins to shift dramatically. No longer seen as worthless, it becomes one of the most sought-after objects in the world. People begin searching everywhere, inside old jars, beneath furniture, in forgotten pockets of clothing, and even on quiet streets, hoping to find just one of these coins that could be worth millions. The excitement surrounding the penny grows, turning it into more than just money. It becomes an obsession, a dream, and a symbol of hope. Families pass down stories of rare pennies through generations, treating them like priceless heirlooms, while collectors dedicate their entire lives to finding and preserving them. The transformation of the penny from a simple coin into $1 million treasure also changes the way society functions. Businesses, collectors, and investors begin to treat pennies with extreme care, storing them in protective cases and studying their details with precision. Every mark, every year, and every tiny imperfection becomes important, as it could determine whether a coin is worth a few cents or millions. Experts emerge, specializing in identifying the rarest pennies, analyzing their history and origin, and guiding others in understanding their true value. What was once ignored becomes studied, respected, and admired at the same time. The emotional connection to the penny deepens. It is no longer just about wealth, it is about the idea that something so small can hold such incredible significance. People begin to see the penny as a metaphor for life itself, where small actions, small moments, and small opportunities can lead to massive outcomes. The coin becomes a reminder to never underestimate anything, no matter how insignificant it may seem at first glance. This shift in thinking spreads across communities, influencing how people treat not just money, but also their time, relationships, and opportunities. In this world, the penny stands as proof that value is not always visible on the surface. Its worth, now measured in millions, challenges everything we once believed about money and importance. It teaches that hidden potential exists everywhere, waiting to be discovered by those willing to look closer and think differently. And so, the penny is no longer just a coin, it becomes a legend, a symbol of fortune, and a powerful reminder that even the smallest things can carry the greatest value. Long before the penny became known as a coin worth millions, it existed as one of the simplest forms of currency ever created. Designed to serve everyday people in the most ordinary exchanges, it passed through countless hands, used to buy bread, pay for small goods, or complete modest transactions that barely left a mark on history. No one could have imagined that this humble coin, once considered nearly worthless, would one day rise to unimaginable levels of value, becoming a symbol of wealth that only a few could truly possess. Its journey from obscurity to greatness was not sudden, but rather a slow transformation shaped by time, rarity, and the growing fascination of those who began to see beyond its surface as years turned into decades. Certain pennies began to stand apart from the rest. Some were minted in limited numbers. Others carried unique markings, while a few contained tiny imperfections that made them unlike any other coin in existence. These differences, once ignored or dismissed as flaws, eventually became the very reason for their extraordinary worth. Collectors and historians started to notice these rare details, studying each coin with intense focus, documenting its origin, and uncovering the hidden stories behind its creation. What was once a common object slowly evolved into a subject of deep interest, with experts dedicating their lives to understanding its true significance. The turning point came when one of these rare pennies was discovered, sold for an astonishing price: millions. This single event changed everything. News spread quickly, capturing the attention of people across the world, and suddenly, the penny was no longer just a coin. It was a potential fortune waiting to be found. From that moment on, the search began. Individuals from all walks of life started looking through their spare change, old collections, and forgotten belongings, hoping to uncover a hidden treasure that could transform their future. The idea that something so small could be worth millions sparked a sense of excitement and curiosity unlike anything seen before. With this growing interest came a new culture centered around the penny. Auctions became grand events where rare coins were presented like priceless works of art, attracting wealthy buyers willing to spend millions to own a single piece. Museums began to showcase these extraordinary pennies, placing them behind glass as symbols of history, rarity, and human fascination. Even scientists and analysts joined the movement, using advanced tools to examine the metal composition, minting techniques, and age of each coin, trying to determine what made certain pennies so incredibly valuable. At the same time, the penny began to influence people's behavior in unexpected ways. Something that was once casually dropped or ignored was now treated with the utmost care. People walked more slowly, watching the ground beneath them, unwilling to miss the chance of spotting a coin that could be worth millions. Children were taught not just to save pennies, but to respect them, to examine them closely, and to understand that even the smallest object could hold life-changing potential. This shift created a new mindset, one where attention to detail and appreciation for the seemingly insignificant became essential. Traits, the story of the penny's rise also became a powerful reminder of how value is created. It showed that worth is not fixed, but can change over time based on rarity, demand, and the stories people attach to an object. A coin that once held almost no importance became one of the most desired items in the world, simply because people began to see it differently. This transformation challenged traditional ideas about money and wealth, encouraging individuals to think beyond face value and consider the deeper meaning behind what they possess. In the end, the penny's journey from a simple coin to a treasure worth millions is not just a story about money, it is a story about perception, discovery, and the power of human curiosity. It teaches that greatness can emerge from the most unexpected places, and that sometimes the things we overlook today may become the treasures we seek tomorrow. The penny, once forgotten and ignored, now stands as a symbol of possibility, proving that even the smallest beginnings can lead to the greatest outcomes. In modern times, the idea of a single penny being worth millions has transformed from a distant fantasy into a powerful and almost obsessive reality that continues to capture the imagination of people across the world. What was once a simple coin, casually exchanged without thought, has now become the center of a global fascination, inspiring countless individuals to search, collect, and dream in ways they never had before. The rise of the million-dollar penny has created an entirely new perspective on wealth, where fortunes are no longer only built through traditional means like business or inheritance, but can instead be discovered in the most unexpected and overlooked places. This shift has blurred the line between ordinary life and extraordinary possibility, making every small moment, every glance at the ground, every handful of coins feel like it could hold the key to a life-changing discovery. Across cities, towns, and even the quietest villages, people have begun to look at their surroundings differently. Sidewalks are no longer just paths to walk on. They have become fields of hidden opportunity. Old jars filled with coins are no longer ignored or saved for minor expenses. They are treated like treasure chests waiting to be opened. Families gather together to sort through years of collected pennies, examining each one carefully under bright lights, checking dates, markings, and tiny details that might reveal its true worth. In these moments, the act of searching becomes more than just a task. It becomes an experience filled with hope, excitement, and the thrill of the unknown. The possibility that a single penny could be worth millions adds a sense of wonder to everyday life, turning even the simplest activities into something meaningful. Stories of incredible discoveries continue to spread, fueling this growing obsession. There are tales of individuals who stumbled upon rare pennies in the most unlikely places, hidden in old furniture, buried in forgotten boxes, or even found lying unnoticed on the ground. These stories often begin in the most ordinary ways, with someone casually picking up a coin or deciding to clean out an old space, only to later discover that what they found was worth millions. Such moments feel almost magical, as if fate itself had guided them to that discovery. These real and imagined stories inspire others to believe that they too might experience such a transformation, encouraging them to keep searching, keep hoping, and never overlook even the smallest detail. As this fascination grows, the penny begins to influence not just individuals, but entire communities and cultures. Social gatherings are organized where people come together to share their collections, exchange knowledge, and discuss their findings. Online platforms become filled with discussions, images, and debates about rare pennies, with experts and enthusiasts analyzing every detail and offering insights into what makes a coin valuable. This shared interest creates a sense of connection among people, uniting them through a common goal and a shared belief that something extraordinary could be hiding in plain sight. The penny, once insignificant, becomes a symbol of unity, curiosity, and collective excitement. At the same time, the financial world begins to take this phenomenon seriously. Investors start viewing rare pennies as valuable assets, similar to fine art or precious metals, capable of holding and even increasing their value over time. Large sums of money, millions, are exchanged in private sales and high-profile auctions, where the rarest pennies are treated as some of the most valuable items in existence. This new market creates opportunities, but also introduces risks, as people must learn how to distinguish genuine treasures from ordinary coins. Experts, appraisers, and historians become more important than ever, guiding individuals through this complex world and helping them understand the true value of what they possess. Yet, beyond the excitement and financial potential, there is also a deeper meaning behind the rise of the million-dollar penny. It challenges the way people think about value, success, and opportunity. It reminds them that not everything valuable is immediately obvious, and that sometimes the greatest rewards come from paying attention to the smallest details. The penny becomes a metaphor for hidden potential, not just in objects, but in people and ideas as well. It encourages individuals to look beyond appearances, to remain curious, and to believe that something extraordinary could be closer than they think. In this way, the penny is no longer just a coin. It becomes a powerful symbol of modern life, where possibility exists everywhere, and where even the smallest discovery can lead to the greatest transformation. Its value, now measured in millions, is not just about money, but about the hope, excitement, endless curiosity it inspires in those who believe in its potential. And as long as people continue to search, to dream, and to look a little closer at the world around them, the legend of the million-dollar penny will continue to grow, reminding everyone that sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. Beyond its extraordinary financial value, the penny worth millions begins to take on a far deeper meaning within society, evolving into something that is no longer defined purely by wealth, but by emotion, belief, and the powerful symbolism it carries. What was once seen as a simple unit of currency gradually transforms into a representation of hope, chance, and the idea that greatness can exist in even the smallest and most overlooked forms. People no longer view the penny as just an object. Instead, they begin to attach personal stories, dreams, and emotions to it, turning each coin into something unique and meaningful. The act of finding a penny becomes more than luck, it becomes a moment filled with possibility. As if the universe itself is offering a quiet reminder that something extraordinary could be within reach. As this belief spreads, the penny begins to influence human behavior in subtle yet powerful ways. Individuals who once ignored small opportunities now find themselves paying closer attention to the details of their lives. A coin lying unnoticed on the ground is no longer dismissed. It is carefully picked up, examined, and appreciated. This simple act reflects a much larger shift in mindset, where people start to value patience, awareness, and curiosity. They begin to understand that life's greatest opportunities are not always obvious or grand, but often hidden within the smallest and quietest moments. The $1,000,000 penny becomes a daily reminder to slow down, observe, and recognize the potential that exists all around them. Families, too, are deeply affected by this transformation. The tradition of saving pennies, once seen as a minor habit, becomes a meaningful practice filled with excitement and anticipation. Parents teach their children not only to collect coins, but to understand their significance, encouraging them to look closely at each penny and imagine the stories it might hold. These moments create a sense of connection between generations. As older family members share tales of rare coins, unexpected discoveries, and the idea that something as small as a penny could one day change everything. Over time, jars of pennies become more than collections. They become symbols of shared hope, patience, and the belief that even the smallest efforts can lead to something great. Communities begin to reflect this shift as well, with the penny becoming a topic of conversation, curiosity, and even inspiration. People gather to discuss their findings, share their experiences, and exchange knowledge about rare coins that could be worth millions. Markets and exhibitions emerge where collectors proudly display their pennies, each one carrying a unique story and a potential fortune. These gatherings are not just about money, they are about discovery, connection, and the shared excitement of being part of something larger than oneself. The penny, once insignificant, now brings people together, creating a sense of unity built on curiosity and possibility at a deeper level. The symbolic power of the penny begins to shape how people think about their own lives. It becomes a metaphor for hidden potential, reminding individuals that their worth, like the coin, may not always be immediately visible. Just as a simple penny can hold a value of millions, a person's abilities, ideas, and dreams may hold far more significance than they initially realize. This realization inspires confidence, encouraging people to believe in themselves and to pursue opportunities they might have once ignored. The penny's transformation into something extraordinary becomes a reflection of what is possible within each individual, even in moments of uncertainty or difficulty. The image of the penny continues to offer comfort and inspiration. It serves as a quiet reminder that value can grow over time, that patience can lead to unexpected rewards, and that even the smallest step forward can eventually lead to something remarkable. People begin to see challenges differently, understanding that what may seem insignificant or unimportant today could hold great meaning in the future. The $1,000,000 penny, in this sense, becomes more than just a coin. It becomes a guiding idea, shaping the way people think, act, and dream. In the end, the true power of the penny lies not only in its ability to be worth millions, but in its ability to change perspectives. It teaches that value is not fixed, that meaning can be found in the smallest things, and that greatness often begins in the most unexpected places. Through its journey from a forgotten coin to a symbol of immense worth, the penny inspires people to look closer, think deeper, and believe that even the simplest things in life can hold extraordinary potential. And as this belief continues to grow, the penny stands as a lasting reminder that sometimes the smallest object can carry the greatest significance. Asterisk, As the story of the $1,000,000 penny reaches its peak, it becomes clear that its true significance extends far beyond the boundaries of wealth, rarity, or even history, transforming instead into a lasting symbol of human imagination, belief, and the endless pursuit of possibility. What began as a simple coin, small, ordinary, and often ignored, has now grown into something almost legendary, carrying with it not just the promise of millions, but the power to reshape how people understand value itself. In this world, the penny is no longer measured by numbers stamped onto its surface, but by the meaning it has gathered over time, the stories it has inspired, and the lives it has changed in ways both big and small. Across generations, the legend of the penny continues to grow, passed down through stories that blur the line between reality and myth. There are tales of individuals who discovered a single coin and found themselves stepping into a future they never imagined, lives transformed not only by wealth, but by the realization that opportunity can appear in the most unexpected forms. These stories are repeated, expanded, and shared until they become part of a larger narrative, one that captures the imagination of anyone willing to believe that something extraordinary might be hidden within the ordinary. The penny, in this sense, becomes timeless, existing not just as an object, but as an idea that continues to evolve with every person who encounters it at the same time. The global fascination with the penny reaches new heights, shaping industries, influencing markets, and creating a world where even the smallest object can hold unimaginable worth. Auctions grow more intense, with bidders offering millions for a single coin, driven not only by its rarity, but by the prestige and mystery that surround it. Collectors devote their lives to the pursuit of the perfect penny, studying every detail, every variation, and every trace of history that might increase its value. What once seemed impossible becomes reality, as the coin rises to stand alongside the most valuable treasures in existence, proving that greatness is not defined by size, but by significance. Yet, even as the penny becomes a symbol of immense wealth, its deeper meaning continues to resonate on a personal level. It reminds people that life itself is filled with hidden opportunities, waiting to be discovered by those who are willing to look beyond the surface. The idea that a single penny can be worth millions encourages individuals to approach the world with curiosity, patience, and an open mind. It teaches them to value the small moments, the overlooked chances, and the quiet possibilities that often go unnoticed in the rush of everyday life. In doing so, the penny becomes more than a treasure, it becomes a lesson, guiding people toward a richer and more meaningful way of living. Over time, this lesson begins to influence not just individuals, but entire societies. The way people think about success, value, and opportunity starts to change, shifting from a focus on the obvious and immediate to a deeper appreciation of what lies beneath the surface. Education, innovation, and creativity are inspired by this idea. As people begin to explore new ways of uncovering hidden potential in all areas of life, the penny, once insignificant, becomes a driving force behind a broader cultural transformation, encouraging a mindset where nothing is dismissed too quickly and everything is given the chance to reveal its true worth in the quiet moments. When the excitement fades and the search pauses, the penny still remains a small, unassuming object that carries within it the weight of millions and the dreams of countless individuals. It rests in pockets, jars, and collections, waiting patiently for the next person to recognize its value. And in that stillness, it serves as a reminder that true worth is not always loud or obvious, but often hidden, waiting to be discovered by those who are willing to see beyond what is immediately visible. Ultimately, the journey of the penny comes full circle, returning to its humble origins while carrying with it a completely transformed meaning. It began as something small and ordinary, yet it grew into something extraordinary, proving that even the simplest beginnings can lead to the greatest outcomes. Its value, now imagined in millions, is not just a reflection of rarity or demand, but of the belief that anything, no matter how small, can become something remarkable. And so, the penny stands as a lasting symbol of possibility, a quiet but powerful reminder that within the smallest things in life, there may exist a greatness far beyond what we ever expect. Asterisk. If you enjoyed this story and want to discover more hidden treasures like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey, because you never know what small thing could be worth millions.